I was born half a world away from these 7 cities. My family and I moved there, and my playground became these 7 sands. Even though the desert became my home away from home, we all eventually leave to find our next one. This piece is called 7 Sands. Before I even thought about putting a show together, I remember working on this painting. I think this was painting number 3. I wanted to make a piece about home. Obviously, there's so many things that remind us of home, but for me, it's this red carpet that laid out in the entrance of our home. And my sister and I, when we went to high school in the UAE, one of the things that we would do is when we get home, we would take off our shoes, and for some odd reason, we would always have like sand in our shoes. So you'd see our red carpet with just sand on it. So there are 7 cities in the UAE. We've lived in Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Dubai, and they say that you can find, black, gray, beige, reddish, white, bluish gray, just 7 colored sands. And so I said, you know what, that is home to me, is just sand, sand and this carpet. Now, there are 7 pairs of shoes. All of them were actual shoes that I owned. From the left, you've got these black shoes. Those were my church shoes. Next to it were these white runners, and just something I wore in school. Next to that, I remember having these green flip-flops. Next to that, there are these sandals. Right after that would be just, I guess, bigger church shoes that I wore when I got older. Beside that are these basketball shoes. And then the 7th pair, well, actually the 7th pair is not there, but it's implied that at some point it was. So one thing that you can notice about the shoes are that they are getting bigger from left to right. So I wanted to tell this timeline of me growing up in the desert. That 7th pair doesn't have a pair of shoes because, when I turned 18, I left. I went to Canada to continue my studies. Now, one thing that's special about this painting is I remember showing this to my mom. We jumped into a Zoom call, and she's probably seeing it all pixelated, and the moment she saw it, she just said, I want it. Ideas are fun, I guess, when you come up with them, but it's way more different when all of a sudden there's more meaning to it than you initially intended. The fact that my mom said that she wanted it was probably the biggest compliment that I'll receive. So my mom is a painter. She's successful in her own right, and she has amazing pieces. And for her to tell somebody like me, I'm not even just a guy who likes to mix colors and tell weird stories, just a guy with a paintbrush, and yet my mom said I want it. This piece reminds me of my mom. This piece reminds me of how she raised us, the values that she's taught us. She's the reason why I can't sleep at night, because I have to be the best at what I'm doing. She's the reason why I chase. She's the reason why I try to excel. She's the reason why, for some reason, it's like I'm racing against someone I'll never catch up to. It's just me. It's just a future version of me, I suppose. She's the reason why I try to be good. Man, there's obviously many reasons why I try to be good, but my mom constantly reminds me that I should. When we opened the show, I remember breaking down. There were I had to give an artist, a mini artist talk. I'm sure for those who attended, they saw me kind of cry like a baby. But it's because this painting is it goes way beyond the colors that you see. I suppose it started off as a piece that reminded me of home, but really this piece is more of a thank you to my mom. So Mom, if you're watching, I just want to say thank you. I don't often say it, but thank you. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for me, for my sister, for reminding us that it's okay to be crazy, and that craziness is just a license for us to be creative.